This week's episode of the Pretty Neat Podcast is brought to you by you. That's right, if you'd like us to promote your content or your store, let us know by going to theprettyneatpodcast.com and clicking the mailbag.
Hello.
Hi.
Look at you with your hair.
Look at you with your skin.
Yeah.
Now there you are.
Oh, hey, there I am.
Well, you make it look fucking good. And I mean,
Thanks.
some dudes can't. And I'm sure you've been told that before.
My wife looked at me the other day and goes, "You look weird with hair." Thanks.
I mean, I remember when you had short hair, like the deep fry party.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you had short hair back then.
I did.
You rocked that well too.
Nah.
Why would you say that?
Well, because it's true.
It's the man who wears it.
Well, it's better bald for sure.
Yeah. Well, you got a great beard.
I recently trimmed it. I had it going pretty thick for a while and then just kind of, not full on, but calmed it down a little bit.
Sure. Did that no shave November thing just end?
I guess on the 1st it will.
Do you not shave during November?
I was planning not to, and it got to a point where it was untenable, so I had to.
Sure. Yeah. Same for me. For me. But, hey, fellas, touch your balls. Check for lumps. That's No Shave November. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
It's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast. It's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast.
Is there a Sawyer on Lost?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so one of the last Rams, I think actually the game Ryan and I went to together, Sawyer was there. I'm pretty sure it was that one.
Oh, that actor?
Yeah. No, the character is not real. Yes,
you.
it was.
Thank you.
It was definitely him. Josh Holloway. No, James Ford is no.
Josh Holloway.
What the fuck? Josh Holloway is his actor. Yeah, is the actor.
Yeah.
Ryan, was Josh Holloway at the Rams game we went to?
Josh Holloway is the gentleman from Lost, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't recall him being there.
Who? Then was it Jeremy Renner?
It was Tommy Lee for sure.
Oh yeah, Tommy Lee and his huge dick. I'm pretty sure it was also the guy from Lost.
Okay. It very well could have been.
Jeremy Renner was at the last one I went to, and The Rock was at the very first one I went to. It's been a good run.
The Rock.
Nice.
Yeah.
My favorite thing
Star-studded.
is when Kawhi and Paul George show up and they show them on the big screen and they get booed. It's my favorite thing.
Well,
Because if Justin Herbert went to a Laker game, which is the equivalent, he would not get booed. Laker fans have more class than that. Actually, it's just a Clipper thing. People hate the Clippers, even in LA.
I'm not even in LA anymore, and I know that that's true.
I went to a Clipper playoff game, and it was only 70% full. It was real sad.
Youch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, is Power Slap on? Can we live with Power Slap?
It says tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. That isn't
that now?
No.
Yeah, because it's 6 p.m. Pacific and it's almost 7 here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. What? When's not? Yeah. 9 p.m. Eastern. That's 8 here. That means it's almost over.
Oh.
At least for me. We get Matthew McConaughey at the UT Longhorn games.
Hi there. Can you hear me? Yes.
What is
Alrighty.
That I'm sorry. That's nothing. That's nothing.
Get off OnlyFans.
Actually, you know what? No, it's not. Hang on. Let me make sure I'm muted. Don't say anything for a second.
Welcome to the Pretty Neat Podcast.
All right, I'm muted. So that's a virtual work meeting I got coerced into joining. I was told I did not have to speak or turn my camera on. So that's what that was.
That is occurring at this moment.
Yes.
Simultaneously.
I'll keep you guys updated.
Dom, I love you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
That's how we do on the Pretty Neat Podcast. Ryan, you look good.
Thanks, man. Feel good.
Rocking the beanie today. Look good, feel good.
Look good, feel good. Got a Boba Fett beanie, and I'm wearing an Alkaline Trio tie-dye sweater thing. I love the cold season. Decorated, feeling festive.
I wore a sick jacket all day today.
A sick jacket?
Oh, yeah.
I have a NASA jacket because I'm an astronaut.
You're not.
I'm also the host of the Pretty Neat Podcast.
Nor is anyone else, for that matter.
I'm Aaron. Nice to meet you.
Wow. Are we going back to flat Earth? Is that what we're doing?
I mean, did we ever leave? What do you mean?
Hey,
yeah, that's true.
We have to address the elephant in the room right now, which is knock knock.
Who's there?
Not Henry Kissinger.
For Henry Kissinger.
No,
you were right, Dom.
I know.
Yeah. Now that that's out of the way, we can move on with our lives. I thought he was dead. I thought he died like a decade ago.
No, just now.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say this honestly. I think that Henry Kissinger could be in this room with me and I wouldn't recognize him.
I just know Monty Python sang about him in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. Who else is a host on the Pretty Neat Podcast so that the listeners know?
I'm here.
Yeah, this guy he's two-timing virtually right now. Who says you can't be omnipresent?
That's true. Oh, it looks like he actually has to say something. What if they're like, Dom, you took us off moot? Okay, good.
Moot?
Okay, good.
You took me off moot?
Okay, good. Hi, Ryan.
Hi. Yeah, that's me. I'm the last of the tripod. You know.
You're still on mute.
I'm real sure I'm muted, but I'm like a little concerned that I could get
Well, you can
fired.
hear them, right? They're not talking.
Well, I had to turn it down so you guys can't hear them.
Super tentative. Yeah, you're like, I think I'm on mute. Let's talk some shit right now.
Let me just start saying all kinds of wacky stuff.
Well, as long as you can hear them and they're not addressing what you're saying, then
didn't
you're good.
Sound like they were. All right. Well, we'll see how this goes. It's a real chance I'm unemployed tomorrow morning.
Well, I think I know. I know how you could become a referee for high school sports.
Don't even get me started on the referee stuff. My new referee service, they're like, yeah, cool, we'll do it for more than 3 times the price.
Oh, man.
Okay. Well,
I expect 3 times the correct calls.
We'll see what happens.
Yes. We did.
My little box on my phone here on this Google Meet is showing all of the same things that the other people are muted, but I'm still concerned. Oh, well.
I'm concerned now. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. We did not connect last week.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Because of Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. That also means that we have a recap of Brendan Allen and the Bear Jew. Is there anything worth discussing from?
I was gonna say, do we? Do we have a recap of Brendan Allen versus Paul Craig? Other than it was far more dominant than I imagined it would be.
It really was.
Just complete control. Now there was the tense moment, right, when Paul Craig switched and used that calf slicer and then tried to go to a leg lock. That was fun to watch. But Brendan Allen, calm, cool, collected, defended, and just went about his merry way.
Yeah.
And he got a submission against a guy who has submitted a ton of people in a division above, who everybody, all the commentators said was the bigger fighter, and looked a little bit more physically imposing, but he had no leverage against Brendan Allen whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm stoked to see what Brendan Allen can do.
Is Brendan Allen good, or is Paul Craig just not as good as everyone maybe thought?
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah, probably.
A bit of both.
Yeah, very much so.
The thing with Paul Craig, he's in his mid-30s and he's going down a weight class. That's usually not the best thing for furthering your career. I mean, it's worked. It's worked in certain instances. Michael Bisping comes to mind. He went from 205 to 185 and became a champion. But there's Daniel also Cormier. Probably Cormier went up.
Yes, that's correct.
Rashad Evans went down. Rashad Evans went 205 to 185, but he definitely didn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
We had...
TJ is classic.
But he didn't win.
And he didn't win.
Yeah, no
the
winning.
Same. I guess that's kind of what we're saying. He's not an exception to that.
Yeah. So, we'll see what it holds for Brendan Allen. He gave him somebody in the second half of the top 10. I'd be interested in that.
Yeah. And then Michael Morales. I mean, what else can you say? He looked great. Like, he's got it. He'd be a fun one.
I'd have liked to finish here.
Yeah, it was kind of expected.
I think Jake Matthews is just really tough.
Yeah.
Is he a CKB guy?
I believe so.
There you go. Michael Morales and Brendan Allen would be good climb the ladder candidates. Probably Brendan Allen more so, because he is such a submission threat that there are some people who would throw ground and pound in at middleweight that I don't think would get past him. So
Brendan Allen, I think, is a better one.
Yeah.
To climb the ladder with, because he's ranked 8th right now.
Brendan Allen is?
Mm-hmm. At middleweight.
Oh, interesting. They're not showing up on this.
Hamzat is ranked 9th.
Oh, yeah, there it is. They didn't display his ranking on the results page, but they do on his. Number 8. That surprises me that they have Hamzat at 9th. But maybe it shouldn't.
Hamzat Chimaev is his name, right? Because that doesn't seem right. But I guess he didn't look that good against
Gilbert Burns,
Kamaru,
or Kamaru. Well, yeah.
Yeah, Kamaru is also coming up a weight class. So really the question is, who is Khamzat beat in the top 15 at middleweight?
Nobody.
Fucking nobody.
Yeah.
He's not even fought anybody.
He's fought some... He went back and forth initially with the UFC. Like, the thing that sticks out to me, he beat Gerald Meerschaert the third in like 15 seconds, and that was at middleweight. But Gerald Meerschaert he's not in the top 15.
No. What is Chimaev's like signature win?
Probably that one.
Well, I mean, he beat Gilbert Burns. That's a pretty good victory, even though like that was
it's not
pretty
Kevin
hotly
Holland.
contested.
I mean, Kevin Holland was a great submission, but
Wasn't that also the Nate Diaz fight, the Nate Diaz fight where all the last two fights
Yes.
got mixed up?
270
Like
or whatever. Yeah.
throw that shit out the window.
Mhm.
I don't know why it doesn't want to load his fights. It's a conspiracy. But you know what else? It kind of just made me notice that Kamaru is not in the middleweight rankings.
Why would he be?
I mean, I guess that's true. He lost to Kamzat.
He's still number one at welterweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took a middleweight fight on a week's notice. Yeah, I don't think he's a middleweight fighter. He has not
Fair
announced
enough.
himself going up to middleweight, so I wouldn't put him in the rankings either.
Fair enough. So Chase Hooper, Jordan Monkey King Levitt. I mean, uh, Jordan Levitt is like he's going out there to compete in the sport of martial art,
Mm-hmm.
and he just doesn't have that kill, you know? It's just not there. And the thing is Chase Hooper doesn't either, but at least he looked like he wanted to win more than he wanted to play. And he looked good.
Meant more to him, right?
Certainly, certainly. And Jesus, Peyton Talbot is an interesting addition to bantamweight also.
You know, we were commenting about his circle tattoo, right, on his midsection.
Yes.
He's got the same. He has it on his back as well in the same spot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like so.
All right.
He just has a cylinder, right?
No, that's really cool.
He's taking Ray Longo's punch a hole in his fucking chest way too seriously.
I think that guy could be fucking a superstar. Like we're talking
Yes.
Sugar Sean O'Malley status.
Yep.
Peyton
Yeah.
Talbot?
Yeah.
Yep. He's just so young and talented. Certainly a big up and comer. He's got the look. He seemed very genuine on the mic. So, Ian Gary's wife might be on the lookout
What?
for this guy.
Oh, do you not know about the Ian Gary's wife stuff?
No, you're gonna have to enlighten me. Is she
I don't.
We're not picking Ian Gary in the next one because he's gonna be too out of breath from drowning in all of this.
I don't have like command of the material enough to
I do.
like tell you the story. It's pretty bizarre. It's also apparently not true.
What part of it?
The part where her ex-husband like lives with him and he's basically like some sort of cuck. That apparently is not true.
No,
that Ian Gary was a cuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No. No, but his wife, now wife, literally wrote a book for how to be a WAG, which is the wives and girlfriends of athletes, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a very common British term.
Yeah.
For footballers.
Got it.
Like my guy Erling Haaland.
Yes. Man,
have you seen that fucking guy?
Bring that shit full circle.
Have
6'4" Norwegian.
I fucking love it, dude. I love it. And I'm gonna say it. I love a super athletic, huge white guy. I can't help myself. I'm not anti super athletic black guys or in the case of soccer, Latin guys, not even a little bit. It's just there's so few of them. You know what I mean? TJ Watt, JJ Watt, Nick Bosa, Max Crosby. There's really none of them in the NBA. Hockey has a lot, I suppose. But very few football players, by that I mean soccer, are 6'4". Maybe some goalies, but he's like thick too. And like 54 all contest goals last year. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, that's my little Holland.
No, you're right. You don't see a lot of towering like strikers or forwards. So that's an anomaly. She literally wrote a book that's how to be a WAG.
Yeah, she did.
In what year did she write this?
It's an older book, isn't it?
Yeah, something about where is it?
2012.
2012. So obviously she wrote this, and Dylan Dennis shared her DMs, like trying to connect with him on Instagram from 5 years ago, like right around the time she would have been meeting Ian Gary. And of course Ian Gary no longer runs any of his social media.
Yeah.
And she's now his manager and social media manager to shape his online persona. And then like it was revisiting his attacks on Neil Magny for like being perfectly innocent in his comments. So it was he's been having a really rough go of it. I feel bad for the guy almost.
Yeah, but I mean that was his choice as well.
And she's twice his age. Like she's definitely a cougar. She's in her 40s.
So, hey, you knew what he was getting into.
Yeah. Yeah. She's good at her job, whatever it is.
Whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
But Peyton Talbot, watch out for the wags out there. And man, Mikdebek Orlby, the guy who's also looks like he can't pronounce his name.
He's very confused by it.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. He was really entertaining.
Kyrgyzstan, what's up?
Yeah, and I called that burrito. That was all me.
So our 6-pack didn't do all that well.
No, it didn't.
No,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
What did we get? Did we get 3?
I think we got 3.
3 on the 3 of the 6. Hey,
Yeah,
we're gonna
three,
break through this week.
Are we?
We're gonna break through.
This is
to the other side.
A fucking great fight card. Fight night card.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we are.
This is really good.
It's a great card, and it's near me. And I'm a good luck charm.
Are you?
I don't know. UFC 270 was good.
It's another 6-fight main card, too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes. So UFC Fight Night from the Moody Center in my town, Austin, Texas. I'll let you guys know if I end up there somehow. Never know. Could happen. But if I don't, I'm certainly going to watch it, and fuck, it's loaded. What a great card. Hold on. I have to do this before I forget.
Let me do it. And now it's time for the Pretty News Podcast picks. Picks.
That's hot.
I enjoyed that. Well,
I enjoyed saying it.
You guys have missed all my fun sound effects this whole time.
Yeah. So that's why we weren't reacting, because we didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
That's why we
every week it's like will we be able to hear them or won't we? It's fantastic. So let's start, I guess, with the prelims. Are there any notable fights on here? Name champion Welling Turman and former member of my 90s themed MMA boy band, Jared Gooden.
Yeah. If there's a prop to bet on Wellington Turman by DQ, go with that one. He's the one who poked Sam Alvey over and over again and kicks everyone in the balls.
Yep.
So
we got Dan Hardy's wife, Veronica Hardy's on the
Oh shit. Card. That's right. Jamie Lynn Horth.
Dan Hardy.
Hardy, the outlaw.
Hey.
Who is the guy that played Bane?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. That's right.
Who also is a BJJ practitioner.
Yes.
And was great in the movie Warrior as an MMA fighter.
You know what? This is too many shows in a row now that movie has come up. I don't like it.
Clearly, we have to have someone from it. Come on.
You know what we did watch last weekend?
Nick Nolte, come on the Pretty Neat Podcast.
Nick Nolte, please do.
Absolutely.
Office Christmas Party. Have you guys seen that?
Yes. It's fucking awesome.
It's real good. A real fun time.
Yeah. We saw the new Hunger Games.
How did you like that?
that it's a book movie, and I've read the book and seen the movie, so I would like to know what perspective you would like. The movie
I have
is the movie's
neither.
good. It's fun. If you've seen, have you seen any of the other movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like them, you'll like this.
All right.
Yeah. I didn't think it did justice to the book, but nobody ever does, I guess. So I'm just blathering.
Every now and then you get a movie that does justice to the book.
I would say that about Mockingjay, the Hunger Games. I'm glad they split it into two.
Okay.
I would disagree because there's a part in Mockingjay when they're infiltrating the Capitol where they have the genetically altered people that were the
Yes.
people that died in like previous Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not in the movie. And
Yeah.
that was a pretty like titillating portion of the book. Yes, I said
Yeah.
titillating.
They try with like the sewer stuff where Fennec dies, but they
Yeah.
didn't get there. Uh,
Which
yeah.
it would be hard. You know, the prospect of like taking somebody's face and CGIing, I'm gonna turn that into a verb, into some like uh
Like
you
the
know,
I Am
it,
Legend
it reminds
zombies.
me of like some of the creatures that are in the Maze Runner, like in that movie. Remember that? They're like the
Mm-hmm.
weird spider hybrid things. Anyway,
Yeah.
I digress.
Well, that was one of my problems with the werewolf. Well, the wolves in the first Hunger Games is they also had the genetically modified faces
That's
of
true.
the dead tributes, and
That
then
was in the book though.
It
yeah,
was.
and they just didn't get it right in the
Yeah.
movie. Like they
It's
didn't show it.
it would I think it maybe changes the rating of the movie. Like that's pretty shocking. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, it
The
is.
book is really good. I did it with my ninth graders last year when I was in the classroom.
It's a good call, actually.
And it's a good book. There's a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of like really easy, like this is a classic example of a literature trope, like that sort of thing. But
Hmm.
even in the book, which is more violent than the movie, when that
Yes.
happens, it's like, holy shit. And I
Yeah.
told them, I prepped them for Rue for what was going to happen to her. Because
Yeah.
the whole thing wasn't to like be surprised by the story. We were looking for themes and that sort of thing. So I wanted them to have like background knowledge. And as soon as we meet Rue, I go, now remember, only one of them can win. They're like, yeah. I'm like, you guys think it's going to be Rue? And they're like, she's going to die. I'm, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
coming for her.
that would be my one piece of specific criticism for this movie is they massively went down on the blood and the violence, like noticeably.
They probably have to, right?
That's the thing is that they probably could have and still gotten a PG-13. This was not any more or less gruesome than the previous books or movies.
Okay.
They just made the choice to not put blood in it as much. And it was noticeable in like the first deaths, especially if you rewatch the other ones. The first deaths in this one, you're just like, what the fuck? Like this is are they all wearing bulletproof vests?
And the book is about the first Hunger Games.
The 10th.
10th. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's already established, right? And this
Yeah.
is where
It's Coriolanus
President.
Snow.
Okay.
Yeah, President
Okay.
Snow, and
President Snow.
they're the first mentors. So it's the first time mentors are introduced. But it's prior to when the previous winners were mentors. They're students preparing to go to the Capital University. Uh, yeah, and there's a large cash prize for the mentor whose uh fighter wins.
That's consistent with the first three books.
Yes. Yes. And his family, which was very wealthy, made their money in nuclear power, which was in District 13. So
Mm-hmm.
his family was broke. So they really wanted to win for that reason. And yeah, they captured the story really, really well. But they could have used help with the third act. They kind of botched that. But oh my gosh, and the girl who plays Lucy Gray does the worst accent. It just fucking pulled me out so hard.
That can be tough.
It was really hard to watch just because I couldn't believe the voice coming out of her body when she spoke. When she sang, totally different. Like I believe it was probably her. And she plays the new Snow White, so there's like a lot of concern about that now.
Yeah, I'm not going to see the new Snow White, and yes, that is why. Not because of her, but because of what you guys are thinking. What was I? Oh, on the topic of movie accents, where do you guys land? And I hate to speak ill on Chadwick Boseman's as Black Panther.
What do you mean? Where do we land on what? His portrayal?
Good? Is it bad? Is it anything?
I think it's good, but I don't know if I have to credit that to the flexibility that Wakanda didn't exist, so there wouldn't be an actual
that we
dialect.
know of, but we wouldn't know, would we?
That's true.
What is the character's name? Why am I blanking on that?
T'Challa?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I think it's good. Why?
I think it comes and goes throughout the movies that he's in.
Well, he really only has one movie that's really centered around him. You could say that Civil War is like co-starring him. It's where he gets introduced, and
Civil War is so good.
Civil War is good, but Winter Soldier is better.
As a Captain America movie, I agree with you. Civil War is an Avengers movie pretending to be a Captain America movie.
That's also true.
Mm-hmm.
It's Avengers 2.5.
Yeah. So UFC, the next fight on the prelims that I have any interest in is probably Drakkar Klose and Joe Solecki.
Wait, so we're just okay, whatever.
Is there more of the topic we have to get to? I mean,
I think you can't actually think just movie for movie Winter Soldier is better than Civil War.
Oh, I absolutely can. And I do.
Civil War is like top 3 of the entire MCU.
It's not even top 5.
what? Whoa!
Like
I would argue with that.
I mean, it's
the
top
airport
3,
scene is changes cinema.
What do you mean it's not
changes
top
cinema?
5?
Yeah, brought
in
Spider-Man
terms of yeah, okay.
Ant-Man.
So there's an introduction of Spider-Man. That's fine. Ant-Man
what
was
do you
already.
mean it's not?
That's true.
Top 5.
It's not top 5.
What are the top 5 then?
So overall MCU movies that are better than Civil War.
No, just top 5.
Top
if
5.
Civil War is not in it.
In the top 5 is going to be Endgame and Infinity War, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Are Infinity War and Endgame one movie though?
No.
Okay.
They're two
okay.
movies.
Well, this list is fucking wrong. So we're all set here. No Way Home is really good too, but this top 6 is complete horseshit.
Yeah, this
Shang-Chi was good too.
This is tomato meter.
Shang-Chi is good. I think Shang-Chi is probably not in the top 10 though.
Wow. So Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb both have Black Panther at the best MCU movie.
No, they have it 16th.
16th.
Yeah.
Got it.
There's like what 32 of them at this point, 33.
Yeah, there's a crap load.
So I guess Ryan, our top 5s aren't that different. I would just swap Winter Soldier for
Civil War.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's opinion, babies.
In Endgame, when it's
wow.
like, oh, 5 years later, it's like, holy shit.
Gut punch. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I walked out of Infinity War out of the theater being like, I don't even the courage that they had to actually do that
Oh wow.
was like to actually let all those people get blipped is so good.
So on IMDb, Winter Soldier is one spot ahead of Civil War,
But they have the same rating.
but they have
They
the
do have the
same
same
rating.
rating.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see if they have them. Oh, there's Civil War with 91% and Winter Soldier with
Yeah.
90.
And that's, they're 1 and 1A. That's fair. You could make an argument that they're kind of the same. They're all kind of one movie.
So on Rotten Tomatoes, Black Panther is voted the best MCU movie, and on IMDb, it's voted the worst or the 16th.
I
Dang.
thoroughly enjoyed the Black Panther movie, both of them actually, but that is not the best MCU movie.
No, Ant-Man would be
it's not.
really high for me. Like
Ant-Man's very good.
It is, and Ant-Man and the Wasp is very high for me as well.
I didn't even hate Quantumania.
You imagine how good Ant-Man could have been if Edgar Wright actually did the movie?
Oh, that would have been fucking wild. Fucking wild. And Misha Tate is on this card in Austin. Fighting Julia Avila. I like the veteran in this one.
Julia Avila?
Misha Tate.
You like the underdog then?
I said the veteran.
Oh, she's the underdog.
Well, aren't they both veterans? How old is Julia Avila?
Oh, that's a good call.
She has 11 pro fights.
She's got gray hair.
That's kind of, it could be like not spray painted. That's dumb to say, but like I do think it's
28.
kind of on trend right now to have that kind of sprayed gray silver color.
Some rogue streak action.
Yes.
Yeah.
This will probably go to decision.
Oh yeah, most women fights do.
Yep.
Is that wrong to say?
No.
No, I
Just
think
facts.
that's statistically accurate.
Not when Amanda fights.
It's science.
Science rules. Because I have a NASA shirt on.
Have you guys seen The Big Bang Theory?
No.
Okay, it's a good watch.
Was there a reason, or are you just curious?
NASA.
Is there,
I mean, it.
NASA. Okay.
Is there a reason you said that? Yeah, it's the NASA thing. Sorry.
Like, what? we don't understand that context. Punahele.
He's fucking good.
All right, main card time.
Yeah. So we're gonna make some prize picks on this.
Dustin Stoltzfus kind of looks like Will Wheaton. Speaking of Big Bang Theory,
like a super jacked Will Wheaton.
Yeah, super. I've met Will Wheaton in person 3 times. He's not jacked like that.
Will Wheaton read Ready Player One and Ready Player 2's audiobooks.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yep, and they are fantastic, especially because he references himself.
You know what?
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm all about that.
And now I'm gonna picture this as Will Wheaton reading it to me, and I'm never gonna listen to it.
Right?
Again.
Will Wheaton got really into working out and steroids.
So is this fight not on the board? No, it is. You've got Storytime Punahele Storytime Soriano. That's a great nickname. Storytime?
Right?
That's new.
I love that. That's so good. Over under 40.5 significant strikes or a 93.5 fantasy score. Is he a heavy favorite here?
He's like
minus 270.
Yeah. That is correct. Minus 270. I mean,
they're both coming off losses.
Yeah. Punale, he lose a decision last?
He did lose his last fight. I don't see what it was.
Puna.
Oh, he ran into Kopylov. Oh, it's been a while since he.
It's the beginning of the year.
Yeah. There it is. Oh, TKO round 2.
39 total strikes. So he almost got it in a fight that ended in round 2.
And he lost.
Hmm.
So I lean towards that significant strikes pick myself. But
definitely the fantasy score one scares me, unless we took the under. Do we think he, I don't know, because the finish in the first or second round, I guess he probably hits it, but
yep. And what's their grappling look like? Oh boy, he likes to take down that. That's 2 a fight. That's not crazy.
So he is 1-2 in his last 3. He was knocked out by Kopylov. He knocked out a guy named Lungia Mambula.
Oh, dude, that guy's got traps for days.
Yes, he does. His traps have traps sitting on him. He knocked him out 28 seconds into the second round. And then he lost to Nick Maximov. Split decision February of 2022.
I'm leaning towards those significant strikes.
As an over or an under?
As an over.
He's going to have to go 2 full rounds to get the over.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I am going to defer to you guys. I have no idea what to do with these two.
I don't know. Like, I'm looking at Stoltzfus's last 3 fights. His last fight, which was over a year ago, so he's taking quite a bit of time off, was a first round KO in the first 19 seconds. And then he won a fight via decision, and then he lost against Gerald Meerschaert. But that's back in 2021.
You said shark.
I did.
It was a mere shot, I say.
It was but a mere shot. that was good.
That's like how you'd like to order the Dvalishvili.
Be careful, it'll give you mere shots. The edible my wife gave me earlier kicked in. I'm leaning on the fantasy score myself in this case.
Yeah, I am too, but on the under. What do you think, Aaron?
I'm honestly kind of on the over, but it's because I think he will win in the second round, which is 75 points. And I feel like he'll throw a lot still, and he'll only have to throw 20 points worth of strikes, which would be 40 strikes. So shit.
The UFC's website is not loading previous fights.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
However, Punahele knocked out Dalcha Lungiambulo in the second round. 19 total strikes.
So he would have missed it, or we would get it if it was less.
17 of them were total strikes. He had a knockdown. So what's a knockdown and a second round victory?
Knockdown is 12 and second round.
So 75. That's 87. So then 17 significant strikes is like 8 points.
Almost 8.
9 points.
That'd be 95.
Yeah, that's 10 points.
10 points.
That would have been 97 on a fantasy score.
So he's got to basically do to Dustin Stoltzfus what he did, or better, to Lungiambula, but not have what happened to him the last time he fought because he lost.
Yeah, but I think there's a big difference between Roman Kopylov and Dustin Stoltzfus, right?
Yeah. And if he loses, I mean, he'll definitely.
You're saying Kopylov's better?
I think Kopylov's way better.
I'm not disagreeing. So 74 total strikes thrown, 45 of them significant in the split decision loss. So I feel like, in a weird way, the under on significant strikes. Unless we think it's going the distance, in which case the over. I don't know. Neither of them make me super comfortable.
Do we want to pull an option and pick somebody from the undercard?
Oh, are we allowed to do that?
We're making up our rules as we go here.
Okay.
Like, I'd go under fight time on Wellington Turman. I don't think that fight's going to go to decision. They're big boys, and Wellington Turman's going to lose by DQ.
So Big Well.
But we don't have to. I will pick on
his last two fights have gone to decision.
Then he's got to show something.
The one before that, he did win by second round submission. I don't know. Okay. I'm deferring to you both.
Then I think we should stick to the discussion we just had about Pooh, Mr. Storytime. And do we think he's going to win?
Yeah, I think he's going to win.
He is a favorite, minus 270.
And it is the card opener, right?
Yeah.
Man, I really feel like this is that he's fuck. This is so hard. I really feel like he's gonna win the fight. It's just like, will he hit that score or not?
Ryan, what do you think? Because my initial reaction was under as well, but we've been wrong recently.
Yes. We have been wrong recently.
Then we're going more, since we all decided on less. No, I don't want to regret this.
Oh, whatever decision we make, there's going to be some regret here.
And even if it hits, we're not going to be like, oh, we told you. Like, no, we didn't know.
We didn't tell you. We didn't tell you shit. I like. Yeah, my initial gut reaction was the under on the fantasy score.
Mine too.
Then that's what we should go with. Because then, I mean, this can go to him losing. That's great. And if it goes the distance, it's very likely that it probably won't get there.
What if he wins by decision, though?
He may not get
there. He wouldn't. I don't think he would get above 93.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go to the scoring chart.
Yeah, he would have to get a couple, because a decision win is 20 points. Now, do they also get third round win? I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
So why wouldn't they? Oh, because it'd be decision. Yeah.
Yeah. So decision.
So it's 20, and then he's got to rack up 70. Yeah, no way.
Yeah, he'd need to.
Yeah.
It would have.
If we go the distance, we're likely going to be under on that fantasy score, which I'm.
Cool.
I feel good about.
Okay. Beauty.
Feel better about.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going under on the fantasy score.
Okay.
Under on the fantasy.
You heard it here first.
Clay Guida still fighting.
Yeah. One of my least favorites. I'll say that now. Joaquim Silva is the name on the tickets here.
Yeah. What? And Joaquim is a big favorite in a minus 325.
Minus 325, yeah.
This does feel like a make a name for yourself fight in a washed Clay Guida.
So Joaquim lost.
So Clay Guida they're both coming off losses.
Yeah, he's actually lost 2 of his last 3. Although he lost to Arman Sarukian, so no real shame there. He beat a guy named Ronson and then lost to another guy named Glenn. I'm sorry, none of these fighters ring it. Ricky Glenn.
Yeah, it could be Ricky Glenn.
It is Ricky Glenn and Jesse Ronson. Yeah, Ricky Glenn knocked him out in 37 seconds in June of 2021.
Which is pretty surprising, but yeah, and Ricky Glenn kind of fell down a little bit too. Oh boy. Well, let's bring this one up.
Has Ricky Glenn fought since then? Oh yeah, he just fought recently. He fought Drew Dober. What the fuck?
So, come on. So this one we get the trilogy to pick from. We got fight time, 12 and a half minutes, significant strikes 43.5, or a 96.5 fantasy score.
All right, so let's break it down. Do we think Joaquim Silva beats Clay Guida?
What are his losses like?
He's won for his last two. First round knockout, 37-second knockout against Ricky Glenn, and then third round knockout against Arman Sarukian.
Okay, gotcha. Arman Sarukian's really good. He's fighting in the main event.
Yeah,
so that's okay. I'm okay.
You almost have to not factor that in, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This feels like a top contender should beat a journeyman.
Fight time 12 and a half minutes, so that's halfway through the third round. Yeah. He has only done that once in his last three, but it was the most recent fight. He lasted that long with Saruki, and it's hard to think he won't go at least that long with Guida unless he stops him. I really don't know.
Guida's last two fights went to decision. And then prior to that, he had a first round submission.
Mm-hmm. Could it be the over on fight time, or is that getting too cute?
Honestly, that's what I was thinking as well. Like, I'm thinking it's going to go to a decision. And how old is Clay now? Clay's got to be what, 40?
I think he's 93. So I've got Joaquim Silva's second round knockout to Nasrat Haqparast August of 19, 36 seconds into the second round. He beat Jared Gordon December 2018, so he doesn't fight a whole lot. 2 minutes and 39 seconds into the third round, he went the decision with Vince Pichel. Gustafsson Teixeira, May of 2017, he went to the decision there. The Ultimate Fighter Team Joanna versus Team Claudia finale, 34 seconds into the first round, he beat Andrew Holbrook. And then UFC 191, he fought on that for some reason, went to decision with Nazareno Malagari.
I lean towards the significant strikes on the over because he throws almost for a minute. So he could hit that 40 in one round, 1.5 rounds. And Clay Guida's tough. And he's going to try and wrestle.
That is true.
So I think that it'll open up a lot of opportunities because I think Joaquim will kick the legs a lot. So you attack wrestlers because they tend to have that leg out. And those are significant strikes also. So I feel like if it does go to decision, we'll definitely get the significant strikes. But it wouldn't have to because I think he would get past that number early in the second round.
Silva's average fight time 9 minutes 33 seconds. Clay Guida 12 minutes 21 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, Clay goes the distance quite a bit,
and a lot of 3-round fights at that.
Yeah, we need this one to go 2 rounds for Joaquin. For me to feel comfortable for Joaquin getting to a significant strike total.
Yeah.
Do we think it goes 2 rounds? I honestly think the reason why I was picking the over on the fight time is because to your point, I think Clay is too tough, even at his advanced age. He
the referees seem to be okay with letting him get hit.
Like getting hit repeatedly. So and this may be me talking myself into the significant strikes, but his defense mechanism, which is a lot of the same defense mechanisms for fighters when they get clipped, is to go for that single leg and try to wrestle. Yeah,
58% takedown defense for Silva.
Ooh. Not great.
Not
But
the
it's not
best.
terrible. It's not 30.
So that's the downside, right? What if he does get taken down and just
Mauled.
gets dominated on the ground by Clay Guida? He's not going to get to a significant strikes.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that the fight's going to end. But his nickname is Neto BJJ.
Mm-hmm.
So we assume he has some grappling skills.
He may want it to go to the ground. He may accept the takedown and not throw a lot of strikes this fight. Fuck. But I like how we all kind of just said no on the fantasy score judgment here.
Yeah, I have
feels like a high number though.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the number, right? That's the line. We're talking about a second round finish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have a second round finish, how is he doing it? Probably through strikes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We would imagine, like an accumulation of strikes.
Yep.
I don't see Clay getting just flash KO'd.
No. His chin is still pretty tough.
So 58% of the time Silva wins by knockout, 25% of the time by submission, only 17% by decision. Clay, on the other hand, wins 45% of the time by decision, 37% by sub, and only 18 by knockout. So I feel like we could make a reasonable argument to go over on strikes or over on fight time. Clay's average fight time is literally,
both
within
less.
25 seconds of, but it's, see, now I don't know where I saw it, but his average fight time is what, 12:22. So we're talking like
less.
By how many seconds though? Very few.
Yeah.
8 seconds.
Yeah.
This one's hard.
The opposite, though, either one of these two we choose, I'm going to feel better about than the Soriano fight.
I'm still on the over on the strikes.
Over on the strikes.
Over on the strikes.
I can get there.
We're doing it.
We've had luck with that bet so far for the most part.
We love a good over.
And there it goes. I'm sorry that I just cost us that bet.
Okay. We're going over on strikes for Joaquim Silva against Clay Guida. Then we get everyone's favorite Brady from the bunch, Sean, and Mega Nafkat Hakparast, who is
Isn't this Kelvin coming down to welterweight? This is his welterweight debut.
Yeah, it is.
He's already ranked at welterweight. That's weird.
Yeah, he is. Now Sean Brady's the favorite in this one.
It's a very close odds. I'm surprised he's only a minus 120. I think Sean would be a much bigger favorite.
He did not look great against Bilal Muhammad, though.
Yeah.
That's true.
I felt like that was a great coming out party for Bilal, though. Like, he just really showed up to that.
Mm-hmm.
And it really felt like Sean just didn't, because he seems so much better in his other fights. You never know which Kelvin Gastelum is going to show up. These guys both have the forward pressure fighting. So, geez. We get every option on this.
So listen to this. Yeah. Were you going average fight time?
No, you go.
So Sean Brady 12:30, Kelvin 13:38.
Ugh. And we have the option.
The number
of
is 12 and a half.
Oh gosh. Oh man.
Yeah, and Sean is not knocking people down, right? His average knockdown ratio is 0.2 every 15 minutes. But at the same time, Kelvin's not doing that either.
Yeah, that's what effectively one knockdown every 5 fights.
No.
Oh, for Sean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Every 5 fights. And then one every 2 for Gastelum.
Yeah.
I feel like takedowns is where it's at on this one.
Do you?
I can see Kelvin getting gassed later on this if he's cutting down from middleweight to welterweight.
And Sean Brady, his landing 3 takedowns a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 1.5. And if Kelvin gasps, I think that's a great move for Sean if he's also tired. Will be to go for the takedown instead of the knockout. So I love this takedowns for over 1.5.
Yeah, getting at least 2.
Yeah. Yep. But these are all super enticing. It's not even fair. I want to look at the significant strikes. Man, they throw. They both throw.
Yeah, they both have a positive striking differential, but Sean's a little bit busier.
Yeah. If it was 1.5 takedowns in the fight total, I'm all over that. I think Brady can take him down twice.
I think about Kelvin Gastelum's fight with Israel Adesanya. Am I thinking of the right fight?
However, is Gastelum going to get into the cage like a lot bigger than Sean Brady?
Sean Brady's pretty big.
Okay.
Yeah, he's taller, longer reach.
All right.
Longer leg reach. He's bigger. He's a bigger dude. Now, are we sure this is Kelvin Gastelum's welterweight debut? It has to be. Chris Curtis.
No, he fought Chris Curtis.
And Curtis is not a welterweight, is he?
Yeah,
Chris Curtis is a he's a
middleweight. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Yeah. How big is Chris Curtis?
Small.
He is. He's pretty stout, right?
I don't know.
He would be
he's small.
He would be a dwarf in The Lord of the Rings. Wow, this is annoying.
Yeah, UFC's website not doing well today.
Everyone's making their prize picks with us.
No free shout outs. I don't hate the over on takedowns.
No, I'm good with the 2 takedowns. I think that's the bet. I also think this goes at least into the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm kind of up in the air on like how the fight will go. So I lean towards that grappling takedown number.
2 takedowns can happen inside of the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking at I love when they have the fantasy score in there. So if his over under is 76.5, we're essentially saying this is going to go into the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the 1.5 takedowns. Plus, I'm thinking, as I said before, Kelvin coming down to welterweight. If not for the first time ever, the first time in a very long time. That's usually not great for cardio. Mm-hmm. Plus, he pulled out of his last fight because of injury, right?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Or recently he did anyway.
I'm very curious to see a welterweight Kelvin Gastelum because he sometimes had trouble making middleweight, and he always he was a thick boy, you know.
Yeah,
he
said he loved to eat. He loves to eat.
Yeah, so I'm very curious if it was just a dietary thing and he kept with his regular routines and training, or if he did anything different in training as well, which I'm sure he did. Maybe, and that could improve his gas tank. Maybe he did a lot of cardio, dropping weight, and that adds to likely more takedowns, more fight time. So, yeah.
So Michael Chandler said that his weight cut is down to the calorie, down to the minute.
That's wild.
Do you think Gastelum is doing that?
No.
So,
no.
Yeah.
No.
I guess we'll see if he even makes weight, but I like the over on takedowns.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, then we get into our like this kind of does now. This is not a
Co-main kind of.
It kind of is because you do have two very highly ranked bantamweights and uh Davis and Figueiredo. Come on, let's go. Welcome to bantamweight against Rob Font. What the
So did you hear that Davison Figueiredo says he wants to fight Sean O'Malley?
Well,
Get
yeah.
the fuck out of here, bro.
Well,
Okay, Davison.
No.
We all know what Sean O'Malley would do to you, but okay.
He would have to, if to fight Sean O'Malley, he would have to absolutely destroy Rob Font.
Well, and then he'd have to beat another guy like
Sandhagen
or something, which is also not happening for that matter.
No.
Yeah. That I don't see
Or
a world where
Cejudo.
Davison beats Sandhagen.
I'm not sure he's going to beat
chance.
Rob Font. He's the underdog.
So here's the thing. I'm all in on Rob Font winning. The problem is our prop bets on this suck.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Fight time or significant strikes. Fight time 12 and a half minutes.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Rob averages almost 13, and Figueiredo is 5 seconds shy of 12 on his average. But
Damn.
Rob Font is a lot bigger than Davison Figueiredo.
So much bigger.
And he's gonna use his reach to try and jab a lot, which could lead to a lot of strikes.
It really could.
It could lead
but
to
he's
a
not like a
distance
flash
battle.
knockout guy. Well,
No,
he's got half of his
he's
wins
he's a
knockout.
volume guy. He's a volume guy though.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you for sure.
Yeah. Figueiredo has vicious leg kicks as well. And that could inhibit some striking. I don't run that way specifically. But I do think that this is going to be a volume dump by Font.
So he has
a
lost
game.
2 of his last 3 fights. Both of them went to the decision. He knocked out your boy Adrian Yanez about 3 minutes into the first round. I kind of don't hate the over on either of these. 65.5 is a lot.
Yeah, it's a shitload of strikes. Now, if I remember correctly, Rob Font's last fight where he lost to Corey Sandhagen, that's the fight that Corey Sandhagen like messed up his elbow in the first round and then just decided he was going to wrestle him the rest of the fight. And
so
Rob Font
had
do
9
shit about it.
significant strikes in that fight.
That's fucking terrible.
Against Cheeto, which also went the distance, Rob Font had 271 significant strikes.
And he lost.
Which is...
And that might be the kind of fight you want to have with Davison.
But against a normal bantamweight, I'm with you. We don't know what Figueiredo is going to look like. In Rob Font's victory over Adrian Yanez, an actual bantamweight, he landed 33 significant strikes. Now I don't love the over so much anymore, to be honest with you.
So again, do we think Rob Font wins?
I do.
I do too. Aaron?
I do.
Do we think he finishes the fight?
No, I don't.
No?
I think this will go to decision.
Davison has been finished June 21.
Choked him.
Baby assassin. And then doctor stoppage January of 23.
Yeah. I think he's tough enough to survive a stand-up battle.
What was that? His eye in that one?
Yeah. I think he's tough enough to survive boxing with Rob Font. And I mean, Davison is dangerous on the ground, but I don't think he he would have it for Rob because I think it's going to be a distance game. And I do think it'll go to decision.
So Figueiredo in the UFC pre the 4 Brandon Moreno fights, because he has not fought anyone not named Brandon Moreno in more than 3 years now, which is crazy. So he knocked out Alex Perez in the first round. He submitted Alex Perez, submitted Joseph Benavidez also in the first round, knocked out Joseph Benavidez in the second round, submitted Tim Elliott in the first round, and went the distance with Alex Pantoja. Now I don't know what I think about this fight anymore. Average fight time can be misleading because it takes all of their fights into account, right? And Figueiredo is a different fighter than he was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Correct.
Pantoja reminds me a lot of Figueiredo in their fight styles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm still.
This has been the toughest set of bets we've had so far.
Yeah, right?
It has.
Man, over 65.5 significant strikes. I mean, he has to win, and it has to be late. Over 12.5 minutes, it goes to decision, probably. My first instinct was still that it'll go to decision. They're both veterans. They're both going to have game plans. They're both going to be trying to execute those plans. I don't think either one of them will really be going in for the kill. I think they'll both be going for the win. And I think that'll lead to a point battle.
Figueiredo is a lot smaller.
A lot smaller.
Is he that much smaller?
He really is.
Damn.
I know they said he's had trouble getting to 135, but he's 4 inches, 3 inches shorter. He's not going to be like a full-size 45 guy where Rob Font is. I just don't see it.
Yeah, he's just got the leg reach getting pretty close. I'm
So what does that mean, right? Are we still thinking it's going the over and he just manhandles him, or are we going less into some type of finish?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know the answer.
I want to go over on the fight time.
Okay.
I want to go over on the fight time.
I vote for that.
Okay.
We've logicked that out. We're going over 12.5 minutes on the fight time for the Rob Font Davis.
Robbie F. That's what I call him.
Robbie F.
Did you see whose fucking nickname was it that was great? Was it Joaquim Silva's? Come on. Nope, that's Neto BJJ.
Story time. We were just talking about it.
Maybe it was that. No, is it Sean Brady's nickname? Yeah, his nickname is weird.
It's something Philly, right?
Yeah, it's like something. Yeah. Anyway, then we get the Tarantula, Jalen Turner, and Bobby King Green. Come on. This is a great fight. This is a great fight.
This is a really fun fight.
Didn't Jalen take this on super short notice?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Bobby Green, they're like, hey, Bobby, you want a short notice fight? He's like, I'm at the facility anyway. Yeah, I'll do it.
It is not showing me any fight stats when I click on this one.
Nope, I'm
No,
not getting them
it's
either.
not.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's new. That's rude. Well
That's
then,
rude.
is this on here?
Yeah.
It is. It's under
Jalen's
Jalen.
on there.
Okay, so we got fight time, 10 and a half minutes, 53 and a half significant strikes, 92.5 fantasy score for Jalen Turner. Wow.
Yeah. So fantasy score indicates round 2 stoppage potentially for Jalen is where the line's being placed.
Yeah.
So Bobby Green is local to Dom and I,
Mm-hmm.
and he's fought some very tough individuals,
He's a
We
brawler.
love Bobby Green.
and he's fought them very well.
The toughest of tough.
The toughest of tough.
He took. What were you gonna say?
I said he's got a great Philly shell where he rolls with a lot of punches. And the only thing I'm worried about from Jalen Turner is Jalen saying, well, I'm going to take him down.
He took on Islam on like 2 weeks' notice.
Yeah, he's fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to get paid, right?
Yeah. And that attitude will probably, it has been helpful to him. I think that attitude will be helpful to him for Jalen Turner.
Now we like Jalen Turner. Ryan, you're the resident
Yes.
Jalen Turner expert.
I like the tarantula.
I do too.
He really likes tarantulas as well.
That's creepy. No, thank you.
So I seen this being a stand-up affair. Both can play the outside game. Jalen's going to have
Jalen Turner's
advantage.
from San Bernardino.
Oh. Well, they're both local then. Because Bobby Green lives in Rialto,
Mm-hmm.
which is essentially next door to San Bernardino.
Mhm.
San Bernardino.
I feel like part of the group because they're probably here now. Haha.
Haha. Yeah,
They have to weigh in tomorrow.
they
Or
do.
Day after tomorrow.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
I still think they keep this standing. And I think Bobby Green is very difficult to finish. It would probably take something miraculous from Jalen. We've seen him do flying knees before. That's not out of the question.
See that.
So a couple things that stand out to me. Jalen under on 92 because I believe in Bobby Green's toughness and being able to be able to trade, right? Or be competitive on the feet, which is then the other thing is I think that goes beyond 2 rounds. Yeah.
So is Bobby gonna win?
He has a chance.
No, sorry. Is Jalen gonna win? Do you think?
I think that I would favor Bobby Green because Jalen's taking it on such short notice.
Oh, okay, so Jalen, that's fair. Jalen's the betting favorite. So in Jalen's 5 of his last 8 fights that he has won, all have been first or second round finishes. So, there's a sub or 2 in there. There's a knockout in there. He has lost his last 2, both by decision, both split decision. And then he also lost to Matt Fravola at 236. But that was 2019. So he doesn't get finished. Vicente Luque stopped him in the first round way back in 2018 in his UFC debut. I mean, yeah, he got knocked out in the 3rd round by Richard Leroy at CXF8 Cali Kings in 2017. His 3rd professional fight in beautiful Victorville, California, he was knocked out by Ronnie Borgia. So he doesn't get finished often if he's gonna lose. However, when he wins, it does not go over that 10 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
Literally, he does not have a single win that has gone that far.
Yeah, this one's tough because I also like Bobby Green in this fight.
Do you? See, I like Jalen.
But I think it's recency bias, and because I do like him so much. Like, I do think he should lose. Like, and the thing is I don't, and I think he should lose early. Like this kind of has club and sub smell to it. He's got the long arms, you know, wrap him up on the ground
But you think
after a
Bobby Green's going to
knockdown.
club and sub him?
No, Jalen Turner. I think Jalen
Oh,
Turner
yeah.
will club and sub him in the end of the first or beginning of the second, which would give him the fantasy score.
But it also gives him the fight time.
Yeah, the under on the fight time and the significant strikes. I do think they will fight because Bobby's a brawler. Like he really is.
Mm-hmm.
So if one of them catches the other and it ends up on the ground, I think I favor Jalen like immediately. Like
Yes.
I think he's tough on his back.
Yes.
And I think he could submit Bobby. So I kind of want to pick under on the fight time.
That's kind of where I was leaning as well. If we think he's going to win, if we think he's going to lose, which I don't, but I could be talked out of it.
Under on the fantasy.
No, under on fight time or over on fight time. Because
Yeah.
he's not getting stopped early. It's just not happening.
Yeah. Man.
But I think he's going to win.
I do think he's going to win. And I think he'll get it done, especially with 2 losses so recently. He's got to do something. Or go to PFL and make $2 million. Like,
yeah, the 2 guys he lost
Omar
to, though,
Mercier.
Gamrot and Dan Hooker, and they were split decisions. That's nothing to shake a stick at.
Did you see Mercier made the $1 million in PFL in the same amount of time he made 40,000 at UFC?
That's so wild.
Super
Good for
wild.
him.
Yeah.
And Kayla's back. She beat Aspen Ladd.
Woo!
Hey, be nice.
She's great.
Yeah, I want to see her fight Cyborg. I mean,
Yep.
it's a little late for Cyborg, but
Yep.
I still want to see it.
Yeah, Cyborg has no chance in that fight.
Mm-hmm. That so we're picking less. We're picking less. On
Ryan,
the fight
you've been quiet. How do you feel about it?
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Like the only thing that's given me pause is Bobby Green's toughness and being able to be a savvy veteran and extend the fight. But hey, I think you're right. Jalen's got way more ways to win and has more finishing potential than Bobby Green does. Even though Bobby has finishes and recent finishes, they've all been from his stand-up and being able to take advantage of people that had poorer defense, which I don't think is the case for Jalen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on board with it.
I think Aaron's right. I think this is like a late first, early second round. He catches him, jumps on him, and once he's on top of him,
Yeah. Even ground and pound.
Yeah.
Make it look bad. That brings us to the main event.
I'm calling this the Better's Buffet. Look at these choices.
Right.
Dude, we have to
Sarukian.
take the under fantasy score, right?
I feel
Is Beneil getting knocked out in the first round? Is Arman Sarukian the guy that knocks people out?
Is he?
Do any of us think Beneil's winning?
Yeah, I think Beneil can win.
Okay, but is he going to? Can he and will he, I think, are 2 different things.
If he
Yeah, I think he can win. I think he will win.
Gotcha. Man, look at those takedowns.
So Arman Sarukian.
Last fight was a KO, but it was in the 3rd round.
Yep. 3rd round decision. 5-round loss to Gamrot. 2nd round knockout. 1st round knockout. 3rd round decision. 3rd round decision. 3rd round decision. He went to decision with Islam. And that was his UFC debut. Holy shit. Welcome to the UFC, Arman Sarukian.
Well,
now I kind of like the over on
you like
You like
what?
the over on what?
fight time.
Really?
Hell, he doesn't have that many 5-round fights is the problem. And the only one
Right.
he did went the decision
Just over 3 rounds.
or went the distance, excuse me. That's just over 3 rounds. But to your point, if it gets that far, it's unlikely he's going to get there for fantasy score.
Yeah. So
basically it's a first round knockdown, knockout, or sub to get to that number, right?
Right.
Yep.
I don't think Beneil's going out like that.
The only time Sarukian has done that in his UFC career, and the only time he's done it in the last 6 years and 2 months, was when he fought Christos Giagos.
Yep.
In 2021.
Yeah, and he's washed. Like, that guy's totally washed.
Didn't he get beat up by Alex Pereira?
Yeah, at some point.
He did not.
No?
Mm-mm.
Huh. Yeah, I feel like under on the fantasy score is the one to take on this. Because Beneil could win this. He's tough. And, I mean, what he did to Drakkar Close, he was 90% out on his feet, and he still knocked out Drakkar, and he was the young, tough up-and-comer at the time. And that's under on the fantasy score. And if Arman cannot get it done in the first round or first round and a half with total dominance, he's not going to get that score. Unless he totally dominated for 5 rounds, but didn't finish it. And even then, I don't think he could get there.
So Beneil was knocked out by Charles Oliveira in the first round in his last fight.
Yeah.
But prior to that, he had not suffered a first round defeat since 2018 against Alexander Hernandez.
But now his clock could be cleaned. He could have a loose chin now.
He had one back in 2017. No, 2014. He was stopped in the first round. Yeah, Beneil's been around for a long time. And that was his second UFC fight. So it would be out of character for Beneil to get wiped out in round 1.
Yeah. So is fantasy score under just like the only one we're all leaning towards?
Yeah, I mean, that's where my eyes went right away.
That's what seems to make the most sense.
Yeah. It would be a pretty big shocker for him to really just crush in the first round here. Yeah.
Smash.
To me, that makes the most sense in the world. We have our picks.
We got them picks.
Punahele.
So let's just recap them really quick.
Yes. Here they are.
Punahele, Storytime, Soriano, where we all decided, albeit with great reluctance,
Yeah.
that we were going to go less on the fantasy score because we believe that while he will win, that it will not be a second round knockout, which is what that fantasy score indicates it would need to be to get to at least 94 points.
Joaquim Silva is going to land more than 43.5 significant strikes on Clay Guida because that's what Clay Guida does.
And that's because we believe Clay Guida is too tough to just go down, right? Mm-hmm. That Joaquim Silva is just going to continue to land on him, and that's why we're going with the more.
Yep.
And I feel pretty good about that.
I don't hate it.
And Sean Henzo Gracie Philly Brady, not nickname champion. You're welcome to come on the show. We'll help you pick a new one.
Dang. Yeah.
Sean Wayne Brady.
Dang. Sean Philly Cheesesteak Brady.
There's a lot of options. Sean, I'm not from the Philippines. but I have the tattoos Brady. We're okay. We're gonna stop now.
Yeah,
but he's gonna land more than 1.5 takedowns, probably more than 2 in this fight.
And we're saying that because we think Kelvin coming down to welterweight is going to gas.
Probably, yeah. And Sean will probably gas too, because they're gonna throw. I think they're gonna throw in the first after they feel each other out for probably a minute. But like it, because that's how Kelvin fights. Like he wants to trade. We talked about how Kelvin always fights to the level of his opponents and kind of matches them. But I think, yeah, he's going to have trouble at welterweight. So, yeah, Sean Brady, 1.5 takedowns, more. Yeah.
Rob Font and Davison Figueiredo are going beyond 12.5 minutes in this fight. We think that they are going to go to the decision. Both of their averages basically say they will.
Yeah.
And I think Rob Font will win. And
I do too.
And jab his face off.
I don't think Davison Figueiredo has any business at 45 or 30.
35.
No, 35.
35.
Yeah.
Ooh, those 125 boys are tiny, aren't they?
I think
little guy, huh? Okay.
And I think there's going to be a lot of leg kicks, which is going to decrease the striking but increase the takedowns and ground control. I think that's going to, it'll be a long fight, but it'll be a fun fight. The
flip side of that number is that if Figueiredo's path to victory is a 3-round decision.
Yeah.
So
that's how we go more.
Tarantula, Ryan, do it.
So the Tarantula, we're thinking he's got way more paths to victory, and we're thinking there's some form of club and sub trademark here at Pretty Neat Podcast. Come on down and get the club, and we'll serve you a sub as well. 10.5
club sub.
If you buy the sub, the club is half off. But if you take the club, the sub is free.
Yeah. And it's cut in 3 slices and it has fluffy toothpicks.
Yeah, we think that Jalen will eat and be done before the third portion of that sub.
Yeah.
And let's just be real, 115.5 fantasy points is a whole lot for Armin Sarukian, and Beneil does not get knocked out in the first round, which is what that counts on. So
unless you're fighting somebody named Charles Oliveira, but hey, that's not the case here. So yeah, not going to get a first round finish.
You will not catch me on this show comparing Armin Sarukian to Charles Oliveira just yet.
Yeah. And I'll never forget when Justin Gaethje said, "Man, that fucker hits hard," about Charles Oliveira.
Yes.
Yep. When he knocked him down and choked him out. He was just like, I didn't expect that. He hit me so hard. Hey, man, props to Gaethje for the honesty.
But even that was out of character for how Charles wins fights.
Yep. Yeah, it totally was. And in the main event, Armin Sarukian.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah. What?
You know how sometimes you're listening to a podcast and then it'll just like restart the last 45 seconds you just listened to?
Yeah.
It's like that's what just happened in Aaron's brain. I love it.
Happened.
It did. Yeah, it's been a long day.
Do you guys like soup?
What kind?
Oh, also I'm playing the picks here. It's played.
I also have played the picks.
With integrity doesn't mean we won't play a different selection of picks.
Plates.
But we all play the Pretty Neat 6-pack.
Yes, we do.
When one plays, we all play.
That's right. I enjoy soup, okay?
All soups? Specific soups?
No, not all soups. I resisted it for a good amount of time, and then I've recently succumbed.
What's your favorite soup?
Oh. Real hard to argue with a lobster bisque.
Okay.
Sure.
I love a nice chicken tortilla. I like a nice matzo ball soup. I recently had a butternut squash apple fall spice soup. Tremendous.
You know what? The initial reaction to that is but thinking about the words you said makes me go, ooh.
Yeah. No, it was very good.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at on soups?
Yeah, I dig on soup. I have a clear number one, like above and beyond all other soups.
I'd love to hear
broccoli cheddar.
Okay.
The broccoli cheddar is top tier for me. It's just absolutely no competition. You get that with a good club sandwich.
Oh,
You get that soup and sandwich combo.
but which
right?
we are offering now. We're happy to say at Club Pretty Neat Podcast, we are offering on Sundays a soup and sandwich combo.
Mm-hmm.
If you bring in your winning 6-pack ticket, you get 5% off.
5%,
Yeah,
not
5
even
whole
saving
percent.
tax.
Yeah. It's 1/20th off. I also here's the counter to that though is a nice tomato bisque, or if I have my way, lobster bisque with a grilled cheese.
Yep. Oh, so good.
Jolly Holiday. Get that combo tomato bisque with the grilled cheese. Jolly Holiday.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or Stone Brewing, friend of the show and something I'm, a de facto investor in. In a sense. They used to make their Ruination cheddar soup.
Yeah.
It was special to me.
Chicken enchilada is delicious. I'm a French onion soup
That's
guy.
good stuff.
Oh, French onion?
Oddly asked, right?
Love a French onion.
Yeah. The French onion at Cafe Orleans at Disneyland with the mozzarella and the bread and pommes frites.
Yeah.
To die for.
Just say French fries, but sure.
Pommes frites.
I think it's funny that people do souping. You know about souping?
No.
Is that the sexual act? Souping?
No, that's soaking.
Soaking, that's right.
do you not know what soaking is, Aaron? Okay, so should we tell him? You could Google it, I guess. Soaking is, I believe it's popular in the Mormon community, but I could be wrong about that. Can you confirm, Ryan? I know you're not Mormon, but there's a lot of Mormons in this area.
There are a lot of Mormons in the area. For some reason, that seems correct to say.
Yeah. So the theory is sexual intercourse doesn't happen until there's friction. So you just put it in and let it sit there and you're soaking. Yeah.
That's disturbing.
Yeah. You should also look up docking if you really want to be upset.
And yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I mean, you could.
Yeah, soaking also is referred to as marinating or floating.
Marinating?
Floating says more about the wife than anything else.
Floating, yeah, I'm not into that. Floating, you probably got to get looked at by a doctor at that point, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
or
this internet source says that reportedly used by some members of the LDS Church.
Yeah,
but there are other news sources are saying that it's not being reported as a common practice.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and look up docking for me.
Yeah, no thanks.
No, you're gonna hear it. You got to learn.
I know what space docking is.
Actually, God, is this right? Did I remember this correctly?
If that's your reaction, then yes.
It was exactly as I remembered it. So docking is the act with two uncircumcised males where one will pull his foreskin back and hold it while the other gentleman stretches his open and outward foreskin as far as possible over the head and shaft of of male number one's penis.
What a fantastic piece of information. Dom, look up space docking.
Is that different?
Yes.
Like on Urban Dictionary?
Yes.
All right.
You could read that one.
All right, here we go. No, this is a lot of NASA stuff.
Yeah, just look space docking Urban Dictionary.
All right. Here we go. Oh wow. No, I'm not saying that. So it's
say it for a 3-year-old.
It's defecating into a specific orifice on a woman. That's what I'll say. That's fucking gross. Why would you? Why? I love Urban Dictionary. It's their use it in a sentence is hey baby, want to try some space talking? Or here
Wow.
you go. Here you go. Last night my best girl and I went to the country fair and I space talked her inside the fun house. You could also use a frozen chocolate covered banana.
Oh.
Me and my Jew bro went space talking last night. Oh man, good times.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Space talking 2024.
Hey, you know why I love MMA so much? It's pretty neat. That is 100% true, but it's also because it brings us together. You know what? Violence really does bring people together. Yes, let's get